Hey guys, welcome back to the Sundered Paradise. Our horse is looking a little bit skinny. I don't think I think I should feed him some more. Nah, that's how he always is. I haven't given him a name yet. I'll have to give him a name. But first thing I want to do is give our dolphin friend a name. I had to, strangely enough, I had to put him on a lead because there is this weird AI. Like if you watch, let me show you this, 'cause this is kind of interesting. So he likes to play. They like to go after items. So I pick up these two items and look at this. He will literally just stay there in the corner, not doing anything. And I think I figured out the reason why uh, is because of the water stream. Like if you look like right under here, there are a bunch of items floating. Because, well, I have way too many freaking items is the problem. I mean, look at all this bone. Jeez, Pete. But, like, they're all stuck here. Look at all this bone. Look at all this bone. Guys, if you're on the Sundered Paradise, you need bone. For the love of God, please. Look, you need gunpowder? Free gunpowder, alright? Free gunpowder, free bone. Anything that's in this chest is yours for the taking. You want some of this. You want some of this. You want some of this. It's all yours. It's all yours, alright, guys? You can have it. It's a bonanza, Black Friday deal. Come pick it up. I'm too lazy to put in another hopper and chest, but I've just been so freaking busy with this base building stuff that it's got to be on the back burner. I'm working on big projects, and that is actually one of the things I wanted to discuss today is big projects. What and this is actually the biggest project that I've partaken in. Now that I've gotten this out, I want to see if we're doing some experimenting here with dolphin AI, and let's see if he's decided that he's done chasing stuff. Oh, and there he is. Look, he's done chasing the thing. We've solved the mystery. That's very interesting, though. That you would just like because of that was in the water nearby underground, that he would just try to get that stuff. It's so strange. Like I wonder if they'll start chasing the stuff moving in these water streams. It's pretty funny. It is really funny how that works. So we solved that mystery, and hopefully our dolphin won't just hide in the corner of the entire to the end of days and drowned. But we got to name this guy. But first, let's talk about some big projects. All right, guys. So as we move on to the project, executing our big project in the ravine here, changing the colors, going with that beautiful sandstone color. I wanted to give you guys some tips on how to take on bigger projects, what I think is the best way to do this efficiently. And number one is to have a foundation. And by foundation, I mean you have some farms, you have tools, you have resources. You need to, one, gather materials efficiently because you're going to need a lot of materials, and, to mine and remove things efficiently as well. So the beacon with the haste. I've got the farms. If you've seen my other videos earlier, I have a ton of farms established that help me get resources like dyes for the terracotta. I've flown around. I know, mapped out the area, so I know where to get more stuff like sand, wood, all those things. And of course, you look at my tools, Unbreaking 3, efficiency. I got the Silk Touch, the regular. So I can break all these blocks and remove stuff efficiently and place things efficiently. Next is to plan it out. I think planning is going to, especially with these big projects, spending a few hours thinking about this, planning it out, is going to save you hours and hours of work down the line. I sketched this out, when I was thinking about ideas, and then, I sketched out how I wanted it to look, or, rough idea of how I wanted it to look. So I had an idea of where I wanted to go. And then number two is, you can look for inspiration. I mean, one, you can go to YouTube. There's a ton of different builds for Minecraft on there. Absolutely a ton. I mean, the resources for Minecraft are insane on YouTube, where you can see, how other people have built stuff that's similar to what you want to build, and you can get a lot of cool ideas. Yeah, you can even copy it, block for block if you want to. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as you're not, going to try and claim it. Like, yeah, I came up with this. This is my idea. But pictures are another thing that I think are super good for inspiration. Looking at real life pictures, real life architecture. I was looking up old like cliffside mines, which is kind of like a look that I want to go for with this build, and I can see like, oh, what do they have? It really helps you picture in your head when you see this stuff in real life. What you want to do with your builds. The third thing is creative mode. When you're planning it out, build it in creative mode, or you can experiment in creative mode when you have all sorts of resources at your disposal. I mean, when I was trying to figure out what color combinations I want to put into this wall, I went into creative mode, and I had everything right there, every yellow block I could want right there at my disposal, ready for me to place. I started to work out like, okay, I don't particularly like this sand with the yellow, and it's just not yellow enough. It's too pale. So it's like, all right, terracotta, yellow concrete, the the yellow concrete powder. It's really, kind of in the hues that I want for this wall. So that was a big help. And then next thing is, how are you going to execute it? As you see here, I built this sort of like dirt scaffolding all around the level where the yellow is going to end, and I'm going to start fading it into the orange. So right now I have this all around this area where I'm going to build. And this, obviously took me a decent amount of time to put in, but when, if I've got to do this whole thing, it is going to save me a ton of time in the long run. So you want to think about, what is the most efficient way to build, this structure, whether it's, what scaffolding do I need to put up? Do I need to, set up something in the bottom where, if I fall, I'm not going to die? Just what's the safest, most efficient way to do it? Having this like 3 wide scaffolding makes it so I can easily go along, place blocks up and down. I don't have to worry about falling in the pit because, obviously I have my elytra on. I can just hit space and glide out, but, I have to fly all the way back up. It's a huge pain in the butt. So plan it out. Have an idea, how you want to execute it, whether you're going from bottom to top to bottom. Me, I'm going to start at the top and just, place scaffolding, in every like 10 blocks where there's going to be a color change. And I'm going to go from there. The next thing is get your inventory in order. This is so important because, as I've dug into places and removed it, I've gained a lot of inventory space, sort of clogging my inventory. But, clear it out. Make sure you have plenty of room for your items that you want to be building with. I mean, there's nothing less efficient than having to go in and out, into your storage area and replenishing your items. You just want to have enough inventory space where you can put in enough for the build you're doing. The other thing is use stuff like shulker shells. If you're going, I'm doing it right in my base, so I've got my storage system right here. But if you're doing the project, in like a remote area, make sure you get some shulker boxes, ender chest, stuff that you can efficiently transport a large amount of materials in an effective way. I mean, if you don't have shulkers yet, that's unfortunate. I personally wouldn't really want to do any like big remote work without them because they're just so nice to have. But make sure you have enough inventory space. That's probably the biggest waste a lot of times in a lot of big projects that people never realize is just how much they're going back and forth into, storages and inventory. The last thing I really want to go into as far as when it's time to execute the builds is when you're doing this is to try and focus on one task at a time. Don't be going back and forth, doing different things. I find, especially, from working in manufacturing, that when you focus on just doing one task, you, I think, naturally start doing it more efficiently as you do that task. There is a point of diminishing returns. Like if you do it too much, there's a pretty good chance you're going to start zoning out. I mean, so you do need to take breaks in between, but if you're focused on doing one task, you're really going to start getting better at it, and you're really going to start doing it, I think, naturally, just doing it as efficiently as possible. Let's just say it like that. So those are my tips if you want to tackle some of the bigger builds, something to consider when you want to start doing these projects. So hopefully that'll help you. I know that definitely has helped me in my project so far. Yeah, get wrecked, skeleton. Guys, I got to show this to you. Another part of this big ravine project is using concrete. As I have in my hand, I've got the concrete powder, and I'm using regular black or flat concrete. I did it in various colors throughout. Here's a little preview throughout the valley, or ravine, I should say. So one of the things you need for this is a concrete maker. Unfortunately, with concrete powder, you need to expose it to a water source. It needs to be next to a water source to become a solid block. If not, it's got gravity like this, like a block of sand. Then once you put it in water, it acts like, a standard block. And this is actually one of my favorite type of machines, if you will, just because, not because it's, super impressive, just because how simple and compact it is. I mean, look, it's like 3x3, super compact, and it works extremely well. It's basically, I mean, you can see it. It's just a dropper. You got your observer and you got the hopper here that goes down to a chest, and it's wooden stairs that are waterlogged. I mean, and the sign holds the whole thing in. It's that simple. And how it works is, let's just stick some concrete powder in here. You need some concrete powder on your offhand, and once you place it, the observer's triggers dispenses the concrete powder into your inventory. You break this, concrete powder is going to dispense again. So all you have to do is hold left click and your right click together, and it's, just works like that. I want to keep some of this concrete powder, so I don't need it. I don't need any more. There we go. Regular concrete. So that's how it works. And it's super simple. I just love it. Like these little compact machines. There's just something about it that's aesthetically pleasing to me. Even though I've made this anything but aesthetically pleasing. I don't know how this got here. I think I accidentally placed it on top somehow. But I think it's kind of funny. Random yellow concrete powder block. But I love these. I love the simple compact machines that are just super efficient. That someone just, thought about it for hours. Like, how can I make this as small as possible? And wow, they did it. And it just works fantastic and, gets it done. I mean, if you had a larger scale project, maybe you go to the automatic type of concrete makers. But for our case, this is awesome. And it's helped serve me well in this monumental project. All right, it's time. IW bottles the dolphin. Da-da-da. Welcome, Bottles. I hope you'll enjoy your stay here at the Sundered Paradise. Please don't get stuck in this trench and suffocate. Because no other dolphin has done this before. Actually, I'm going to secure you right here in this safety area until we can figure things out. We're quarantining you. Don't worry, it'll only be 2 weeks to until we can figure things out. You know, get everything safe and secure. But guys, that's it. Our new friend Bottles is here. We're gonna make sure he's not killing himself. Thanks to his completely moronic AI, you know. And in real life, dolphins are smart, but this is Minecraft, where nothing is smart, except, you know, the player. Sometimes. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the Sundered Paradise, and hope to see you again next time.